Hi, today I'm doing a review of Stormy Monday, and I had a number of thoughts about this movie that I kind of wish I'd written down. I did write down my thoughts, but so many of them were echoed by the people that I was in this group with that I feel like I don't know, experiencing deja vu? No, not exactly. Okay, whatever I'm experiencing, let me just do this. I will say that the group in general seemed to get the whole drift of this movie being kind of like, yeah, ugly American comes to England and tries to muscle his way into getting what he wants. But that's the wrong approach. That's what it comes down to. However, really at its heart, this movie, one person in particular pointed out it was like a fairy tale inside a noir setting. And yes, a dark fairy tale. Yeah, that is a very good way to describe it, I thought. Um, so, kind of like a Grimm's fairy tale, neo noir style. It's you have two people coming together. Melanie Griffith and Sean Bean play these two people who both end up working for the wrong people, essentially. So Melanie Griffith is not a femme fatale for sure. She is a victim of the system just as much as Sean Bean. And Sean Bean starts off applying for a job as a cleaner, which apparently is a desperate move. I didn't realize that when he did that. I mean, they were acting like, why would we were expecting a woman, because this is what women do. It's the 80s in England. And you see an occasional, like at least one shot of a set of punks of the era there. So there's also lots and lots of pageantry about bringing, the Americans are here, it's America Week. And so, you even have a parade where the flag is just waved all over the place. So it reminded me of Cutter's Bone, I think it was. I think they told me, and of course I'm like my mind is everywhere now these days. But anyway, that the scene with America, the majorettes, the drum major, the whole Uncle Sam thing. Anyway, that's all in there. It struck me as all very satirical and meant to be over the top and poking fun at us, and rightly so. All I could think of was Jeff Bezos. Anyway, um, having said that, I do want to point out a couple of things that, at least one thing that the guys didn't bring up. Two things. One was that Melanie Griffith has a moment when she's with Sean Bean, and you see them in two separate shots. Melanie Griffith is sitting on the bed. She plays a kind of vulnerable. She's working for the mean American. Okay, she has her role. You can guess what it is. But she's sitting in bed, looking at Sean Bean undressing, and I thought, at last, the female gaze in the neo noir. Thank you. Thank you, Mike Figgis, and thank you to your cinematographer, who is apparently Roger Deakins. Yeah, Roger Deakins, who really did a spectacular job with the cinematography on this one. Oh my God, it's just gorgeous. And the city is Newcastle on Tyne, I believe it is. So it's like, yeah, it's England. It's more than just London. I love that about this movie. Um, and I remember mentioning Get Carter and wondering, does that take place in Newcastle? I couldn't remember. I'm going to have to look it up. Anyway, I love that moment when she just is watching him undress. And then the other thing I noticed was nobody talked about this we talked about the bridge scene where they eventually reach an agreement, the American and Sting, who plays a thug. And I have to say, who knew Sting could act so well? Oh my gosh. But the scene where they are talking to each other, and all the time it's taken from a distance so that you see them at a distance, and there are these beams between them. It's a very cool effect visually to see that geometry and to see the two men always being separated by at least two beams at any given time as they're walking. And Sting might, step forward, and Tommy Lee Jones, who plays the ugly American, follows. But there are always two beams between them all the time, the whole time. And if Tommy Lee goes forward before Sting, Sting will keep going, so that there are always two beams between them until the moment they finally reach an agreement. They are together within that space, in the space between two beams on a bridge. Does anybody detect a metaphor here? I detect one big time. Bridging, liminal spaces, yeah. Reaching agreement. What it comes down to is everybody has a price. But as Harlan Ellison once put it, I sell my soul, but only at the highest prices. All Sting wanted was respect, a little respect. I'm worth something, and you have money, so don't waste both our times. That's the kind of thing I'd like to say to Jeff Bezos. Anyway, that's it. That's all I have to say. I really loved the movie. Maybe you'd hate it. Maybe you'd find it too over the top. Some people found it a little too much. It can get to be a bit much, but it makes a point. It really, really does. And I wish more Americans would kind of get the point. Alrighty. Be seeing you.